Hey everybody, it's time for some more healthy mindset talk, and today I would love to talk about self-acceptance. While listening to my positive affirmations for self-acceptance last night, one particular phrase that stuck out to me, and it's different every time, is this one. Wishing to be someone else is a waste of the person that I already am. And I thought that is so true. If we're constantly looking at other people, comparing our very worst moments to their very best Instagram posts, we're just wasting who we already are. Why are we wanting to be somebody else? And then somebody else may be wanting to be like us. And because it was evening time and I had dessert on the brain, I had to compare it to desserts here. It's like having a beautiful piece of cheesecake in front of us on our plate, and we're not eating it or enjoying it or loving it the way that everyone should be doing with cheesecake, in my own personal opinion. Instead of doing that, we're looking at the plate to our right, which has creme brulee. And we're just wishing, I just wish that I had that creme brulee instead. And we're not fully able to enjoy the dessert that we already have in front of us. And who's to say which dessert is better? That's a personal preference. I would eat both. That would be fine. I feel that so much critical speaking, so many angry words in this world come from a lack of self-acceptance. If we could all just completely accept who we are and be happy with ourselves, and I'm not saying settle for our very worst, I'm saying be the best version of us that we can be, but be us, because that's the only way. If we could all do that, then we wouldn't feel the need to look to others and criticize. We could just be happy. And if we start with love of ourselves, then we have so much love and acceptance then to give to others in the world. There is a children's picture book that I think is a wonderful read for children and adults alike. It's just really, really important. It's called I Like Myself by Karen Beaumont. And it has bright, colorful, fun pictures, but the words are so important. The main gist of it, which starts in the very first pages, are I like myself, I'm glad I'm me, there's no one else I'd rather be. And it goes forward talking about, I like me angry, I like me mad, I like me sad. And we have a lot of things where, we like ourselves, we prefer ourselves to be well-behaved and things like that. But you know what? Sometimes we, even as adults, have little temper tantrums, and we should still like ourselves. So I just love that it's like, even when I'm at my best or at my worst, I still like myself. I'm not going to start hating myself because of mistakes that I make. I like myself all along the way, because really those little mistakes we make are just learning. There's also little bits about physical things. I like my eyes, my ears, my nose. I like my fingers and my toes. And this is really, really important, right? We see a lot of change in the world, things that we don't like about our bodies, that we need to change them. And there's no guideline that says you have to have a nose that looks like this. There are so many different noses in the world that are cute, and everybody kind of prefers a different kind of nose, it seems like, but we feel like sometimes we need to change that. My nose is too big, my nose is too pointy, my nose is too, all of these things that people are going out and spending a whole bunch of money on plastic surgery and just to be able to accept themselves. But really, self-acceptance could just be you saying, I like my nose. And I don't care what anyone else thinks about it, because it's mine, and I like it. Sounds simple, but it's true. It goes on to say, I don't care in any way what someone else may think or say. That's easier said than done sometimes, right? We spend a lot of time sometimes thinking about what someone else might think about us. Sometimes we do things based off of, how would somebody else react to this? What would people think? Rather than doing what we instinctually want to do. We kind of distance from our true self, thinking about what others expect from us. But if we think at the end of the day, I don't care what someone else thinks, I'm me. Towards the end of the book, it has this message. No matter if they stop and stare, no person ever, anywhere, can make me feel that what they see is all there really is to me. We are so much more than what's seen on the outside or what's judged by somebody else. We don't have to feel bad if people stop and stare. We know ourselves deep down and can love ourselves regardless of what other people might think. This book really makes me think of my 3-year-old daughter. She is so good at accepting herself. She's always walked around saying things like, I love my body's beautiful. Now, I've told her these things, but she really believes it deep down. And it's so wonderful and refreshing. Sometimes I think, I've been trying to impress upon her self-acceptance. And recently I felt like that's come back to bite me in the butt a little bit. Hadley is 3 years old, about to turn 4, and continues to not be fully potty trained. So go ahead and judge, moms. That's right, my daughter's almost 4 and not potty trained. But when we've been trying to talk to her about it, comparing like, oh, well, your friend so-and-so, she wears underwear and she goes in the potty. And she's come back to us saying, I don't care. I don't care that she goes in the potty. I like me in diapers. And she's just okay with herself in diapers. And part of me is like, yes, that's right. You're perfect just the way you are. And another part of me is like, oh, shoot. Because that's keeping her from progression. Now, of course, this isn't really a problem because every single person can grow and develop even when it is scary and not easy and requires change and requires a lot from us. I'm sure she will love herself when she's in underwear all the time and she's making steady steps and doing well and feeling proud of herself. Every time she goes on the potty, we're getting there, but it has to be on her own time frame. And I just thought, I'm not going to bring any kind of shame into this because my girl, she loves herself just the way she is. And she doesn't care what people think. And I don't want her motivation for going on the potty to be, this is what people expect from you. People are going to judge you if you're 4 and not potty trained. No, I don't want her to have any fears like that. And I'll be proud of her every step of the way. But at the same time, I want her to know, I love you in diapers too. I'm not ashamed of you. And you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. Now, you're going to move forward because as a big girl who's growing, like she wants to go to dance class and be able to go to school and all these things, and that requires her to be potty trained. And it is something that she is perfectly capable of doing. Physically, mentally, emotionally, she is capable of getting that down. If she decided she wanted to, she could be fully potty trained by the end of today, right? But it has to be her choice and her decision, and she has to want it because she wants it. The point is that I'm not going to force it, threaten anything, do anything because I feel ashamed, right? Sometimes we feel like, well, people are going to look at me and judge me as a mom. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll put it out there to the world. My daughter's nearly 4 and not potty trained. And I'm not ashamed of her. I'm proud of her. She doesn't have to do anything or be anything to earn me being proud of her, right? I like her in diapers. I would like her in underwear. And I like her during this transitional phase in pull-ups. I still like her because she's her. Now, am I pushing and giving incentive and saying, you can do this? Come on, we're going to do this because this is what we do. Every couple hours we go and try. That's what we do. Yes, I'm still pushing. I'm still trying. And, when there's failing moments, that's okay. And when there's victories, that's definitely okay. I've also realized that I really, really want my children to be able to accept themselves. And if I want to teach that, then I need to be an example of it. I need to live my life loving and accepting myself. And that doesn't mean that you stay in one place. That doesn't mean that you stay in diapers forever. You progress, you change, you develop all the time. We're always striving to be the best version of us while loving ourselves where we are first, because it's with love that we truly make that growth and development. So my daughter's not doing certain things at the same time frame that most children generally do. So what? There's more right with her than there is wrong with her, and I love that she's just loving and accepting herself. That's important to me, and I know that she's going to do it. She's going to nail it when she's ready. So I don't need to freak out about it. I don't need to be ashamed of where she's at, ever. And she doesn't need to be ashamed of herself. I hope that you like yourself. I hope that you truly, truly, deeply like yourself. I hope you love yourself. But I hope you like yourself as well. That if you were another person, you would want to be your friend. That if you are who you are, you still want to be your friend. Be a friend to yourself first. I hope that you're glad that you're you. I hope there's nobody else that you'd rather be. Because you'll never be anybody else. And what's the point? That would be wasting the wonderful person that you are. You don't have to be like somebody else to be good. Everything that you do in your life, you do you. Because that's the one thing that you can do that nobody else can. There's no other you out there in the world, so you go be you and the best version of you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. You are you. And you deserve to love you. Thanks so much for joining me today for some healthy mindset coaching. I have a couple links for you guys down below. First, I've got a link for the book I Like Myself, where you can find this particular book on Amazon. If you would like someone to read it to you, I also have a link to a YouTuber who reads this book out loud, and that is Books with Blue, where you can hear this being read. And finally, I've got a link to my positive affirmations for self-acceptance. Try those out. See if they resonate with you. If there are any topics that you want to talk about or questions that you're asking about healthy mindset coaching and you want me to talk about next time, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And finally, check out my channel for more of this healthy mindset coaching, Barre and Pilates workouts, product reviews, and positive affirmations.